Hello and welcome. This is ASO TV News. I am Tina Oje Achu. The headlines. President Bola Tinubu approves new army battalion for Kwara State to tackle insecurity in the region. Abuja Electricity Distribution Company commends Wike Tagbe as repairs begin on Maitama substation. Nigeria Police Force arrests 1,198 suspects, rescue 166 kidnapped victims in 1 month. And on business, CBN retains benchmark interest rates at 26.5% gain. And now the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the establishment of a new army battalion in Kwara State to strengthen security and tackle banditry, kidnapping and other violent crimes. The battalion will be located in Omuaran, headquarters of Irepodun local government area, and is expected to boost troop deployment and military operations, particularly in areas affected by kidnappings and bandit attacks in Kwara State. The Kwara State Governor, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, disclosed this in a statement issued on Tuesday by his Deputy Chief Press Secretary, Moshood Agbola. He described the approval as another demonstration of the federal government's commitment to addressing security in the state. The governor thanked President Tinubu for approving the new military formation, saying it would strengthen ongoing counter-terrorism and anti-kidnapping operations. Abdulrazak also commended the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant Colonel General YD Shaibu, for the swift processing of the request and appreciated the Office of the National Security Advisor and other security agencies for their efforts to combat violent crime. He added that security agencies were also carrying out coordinated operations to rescue kidnapped victims and flush out criminal elements from forests across the state. The chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Comrade Kasimu Muhammad Ikwa, has earned an invitation by the council's Assets and Projects Verification Committee as part of its ongoing verification exercise. Chairman of the committee, Engineer Momo Chide Ogo, said that council chairman was invited to receive a briefing on the progress made so far, as the committee continued its question and answer session with former and retired heads of departments from various departments of the Gwagwalada Area Council Secretariat. Engineer Momo disclosed that the exercise had recorded encouraging progress, noting that the response from contractors and other technical partners had been impressive and cooperative. Speaking during the meeting, Comrade Kasimu Muhammad Ikwa commended the committee for its dedication, professionalism, and commitment to conducting a thorough and transparent verification process. He said the seriousness and integrity displayed by the committee had given him confidence in the exercise, adding that several contractors had acknowledged its fairness and credibility. The Gwagwalada Area Council chairman reaffirmed his administration's commitment to accountability, transparency, and prudent management of public resources. He assured the committee of his continued support and cooperation until the verification exercise is successfully concluded. The Abuja Electricity Distribution Company has commended the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the Minister of Power, Joseph Tagbe, for their intervention in resolving the disputes that disrupted operations at the C2 Maitama substation. The company says the minister's timely engagement alongside other key stakeholders paved the way for the resolution of issues arising from the invasion and encroachment on the substation. ADC says its technical teams have now commenced repairs and the restoration of damaged infrastructure, with efforts underway to restore electricity supply to Maitama and other affected communities as quickly and safely as possible. The company also thanked customers for their patience and reaffirmed its commitment to protecting critical power infrastructure and ensuring reliable electricity supply. The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunja Lausa, has charged newly recruited teachers in Kano State to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, describing quality teachers as a most critical factor in building a globally competitive education system and securing Nigeria's future. Speaking at the official launch and distribution of appointment letters to 4,900 newly recruited teachers and 3,688 better education service delivery for all cohort 5 facilitators in Kano, the minister commended Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf for making education a top governance priority through sustained investment in teachers, school infrastructure, and learning outcomes. Addressing the beneficiaries and thousands of stakeholders at the event, Dr. Lausa said teachers remain the most important professionals in any society because they shape future generations and determine the quality of national development.
Also, giving appointment letters. The government is giving appointment letters to almost 9,000 teachers and facilitators. Total of 15,000 teachers in 2 years. Thank you, Your Excellency. What the governor of Kano State is doing for us at the Federal Ministry of Education is giving us happiness because there are several states in 20 years they've not hired one single teacher. You have a governor here in 2 years, 16,000 teachers. Let's give the governor a big round of applause. This is what is called human capital development. Building people that will turn around to be good citizens, productive citizens of their community, and citizens of Kano, and will serve the country and the world at large. Beyond education, you also have the governor who has engaged in the last 3 years in extensive infrastructure development.
Dr. Lausa also commended the governor's broader development agenda, particularly the extensive investments in infrastructure, including the reconstruction of metropolitan routes and installation of solar streetlights across Kano City. The executive governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, described the presentation of appointment letters as a defining moment in the state's education reform journey, stressing that the exercise goes beyond employment to securing the future of millions of children whose aspirations depend on access to quality education.
They have the opportunity to learn, to dream, and to fulfill their God-given potential. That opportunity begins in the classroom, and every classroom deserves a qualified, competent, and committed teacher. When we sought the mandate of the good people of Kano State, we made it very, very clear to restore education to its rightful place as the foundation of our developmental agenda. And Alhamdulillah, in fulfillment of that promise, on 8th of June 2024, we declared a state of emergency on education.
The governor expressed appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Federal Ministry of Education for the strong partnership and support being extended to Kano State, while commending Dr. Maruf Tunja Lausa, the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Said Ahmed, and development partners for their shared commitment to strengthening education across the country. Students, teachers, parents, and distinguished guests had gathered for the annual graduation and prize-giving ceremony of Moratude Academy held in Abuja with a colorful and inspiring atmosphere. The event was centered on the theme, Celebrating Success with Cultural Agility, highlighting the importance of academic excellence alongside respect for cultural diversity in an increasingly interconnected world. Palumi Adeyemi tells us more.
The ceremony featured the graduation of students who successfully completed their academic programs, as well as the presentation of awards to outstanding students who excelled in academics, leadership, sports, and character development. The school principal, Moraltude Academy, Mrs. Nafisat Dada, congratulated the graduating class for their resilience, dedication, and achievement throughout the academic session. The principal also commended parents and teachers for their unwavering support in nurturing the students into responsible and confident young adults.
We also encourage our children to learn our people's languages, other people's languages, participate in cultural events, show curiosity, and check out on one another. African culture, especially Nigerians, as a diverse cultural and tradition makes it the most beautiful in the universe. In short, Nigeria's culture remains the most beautiful in the world. As a parent, our culture ensures us to nurture them to be of their best behavior.
Parents and guidance expressed pride in the accomplishment of the graduates, describing the occasion as a reward for years of commitment and hard work.
So I call upon us as we try to make sure we see our people grow up to achieve success. Try as much as possible to make sure that culture is imbibed in them, and at the same time let them have a curious mind to learn what other people do so that we can make our homes a better place.
An occasion like this is very important in the life of every child and every school education. Education is not only about reading, writing, counting, and passing examinations. True education also involves character, confidence, good manners, discipline, communication skills, and a proper understanding.
The celebration showcased rich cultural performances with students dressed in traditional attires representing Nigeria's diverse ethnic groups. Through music, dance, drama, and poetry, the graduation and prize-giving ceremony ended with a vote of thanks, group photographs, and celebrations among students, parents, and well-wishers, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the lives of the graduating class. Belumi Adeyemi, ASO Television News.
You're watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, Nigerian police force arrest 1,198 suspects, rescue 166 kidnapped victims in 1 month. Stay with us for details of this and more.
In Biggie's house, there is no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Naija Season 11, everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale, because nothing is given, but everything is for the taking. When the world watches, will you be outshined? Or will you step up and take the spotlight? Big Brother Naija Season 11 starts Sunday, July 26th, showing 24/7 on DSTV channel 198 and GoTV channel 49. Headline sponsor, Bet Power.
Many thanks for joining us again. The National Youth Service Corps has restated its commitment to lead youth economic transformation within the African continent. The Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, stated this in his keynote address at an interactive session between the NYSC top management and stakeholders at the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja. General Nafiu disclosed that NYSC has been in the forefront of empowering young Nigerian graduates with entrepreneurial knowledge and skills in diverse vocations since the inception of its skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program in 2012, which is in line with the reforms being proposed by the federal government of Nigeria. He restated that the scheme is doubling its effort to expand the scope of the training to keep pace not only with the government reforms but with global trends in youth empowerment. The Director General stated that the theme of the meeting, transforming SAID, building a data-driven operating model for standardized delivery, accountability and measurable impact, reflects the strategic step in the right direction being taken by the NYSC towards transforming the program to meet the demands of contemporary world economy. Earlier, the scheme's acting director of SAID, Mrs. Winifred Shokpeka, in her welcome remarks, unveiled that the NYSC management convened the forum to present its scorecard to the partners for the purpose of strengthening their age-long collaborations in order to record more successes as a team. She stated that NYSC SAID program received a cumulative sum of 283 billion naira, 911,000 naira as loans and grants to fund core entrepreneurs enterprises across the country between 2017 and 2023. The National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency has launched an investigation into a suspected chemical spill on the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway that resulted in the formation of a white foamy substance. A team from the Nesra Kaduna State Field Office, led by the State Coordinator, Mr. Hena Dangari Emmanuel, visited the scene as part of ongoing investigations. The team met with the police commander for Jerry, ACP Sani Zubairu, the Federal Road Safety Corps commander for the area, and the community leader. According to a statement by the Assistant Director, Press at Nesra, Wamaka Ejiofor, preliminary findings indicate that a heavy-duty truck was involved in an accident leading to the spillage of its contents at the location. Ejiofor noted that to aid the investigation, the agency has gathered information from relevant officials and residents, adding that samples of the foamy substance, soil, and water from a nearby stream have also been collected for laboratory analysis. The statement urged members of the public to avoid contact with the foamy substance, the water, and the surrounding soil until the investigation is concluded to prevent possible exposure to hazardous materials. The Nigerian Police Force says it arrested a total of 1,198 suspected criminals and rescued 166 kidnapped victims across the country in over a month across the country. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Disu, disclosed this at the monthly conference with strategic senior officers held at the Goodluck Jonathan Peacekeeping Hall, Force Headquarters, Abuja. A correspondent, Richard Alechenu Aibe, completes the report.
During the conference, which also saw the decoration of 30 newly promoted senior officers, IGP Disu said the force under his leadership would intensify intelligence-driven operations against violent crimes across Nigeria. Giving a breakdown of the nature of crimes the suspects were arrested for, the police boss disclosed.
Since 9th June 2026, anti-crime operations across Federation have led to arrest of 1,198 suspects for various offenses. That figure breaks down as follows: 151 suspects for murder and culpable homicide, 117 for armed robbery, 151 for kidnapping, and 104 suspected cultists. A further 169 persons were arrested for unlawful possession of firearms. Our operations also led to the rescue of 166 kidnapped victims. We recovered 166 various firearms and 1,475 rounds of ammunition of various calibers, along with 47 stolen vehicles.
IGP Disu, while highlighting operational successes recently recorded, commended security agencies for the successful rescue of abducted students and teachers in Oyo State, describing the operation as a strong example of effective collaboration among the Nigerian Police Force, the armed forces, intelligence agencies, and members of the public. Despite the success, the police boss cautioned against complacency, emphasizing that every operational achievement should motivate security personnel to strengthen their efforts rather than become complacent.
But a win like this should sharpen our resolve and not soften it. We cannot let success like Oyo breed complacency. Every achievement should push us to improve further, not to relax.
For the newly decorated senior officers, comprising 13 Assistant Inspectors General of Police (AIGs) and 17 Commissioners of Police (CPs), IGP Disu has this charge for them.
I expect you to lead with uncompromising integrity, with no tolerance for misconduct, abuse of office, or corruption. But I also expect you to lead with humanity in mind. The officers under your command are watching not just what you demand of them, but what you protect them from, what you fight for on their behalf. And whether you see them as people, not just personnel. To our newly decorated Assistant Inspector General of Police and Commissioners of Police, wear your ranks with humility, but also with pride. You earned it. Somewhere tonight, a young officer joining this force is hoping to become what you already are. Lead in a way worthy of that hope.
Richard Aliche Nwanyebe, ASO Television News.
And now, the Nigerian military. The Nigerian-Niger Military Corporation strengthens border security in Katsina security cooperation between Nigeria and the Republic of Niger, is yielding positive results in the fight against banditry and cross-border crime along the Katsina border. The commander of the 17th Brigade, Nigerian Army, Brigadier General M.I. Ibrahim, says sustained collaboration between the armed forces of both countries have improved security in the area, while stressing that lasting peace requires the support of all stakeholders. Usman Katun Umar reports.
The commander of the 17th Brigade, Nigerian Army, Katsina, Brigadier General M.I. Ibrahim, says enhanced cooperation between Nigerian troops and their counterparts in the Republic of Niger has significantly improved security along the shared border, disrupting the activities of bandits and other criminal elements operating across the frontier. Brigadier General Ibrahim, who spoke while receiving a delegation of defense correspondents at the brigade headquarters in Katsina, said the gains recorded through joint border security efforts demonstrates the importance of collaboration in tackling transnational threats. He, however, stressed that military operations alone cannot end insecurity.
Yes, we know the issues with Niger Republic and the political issues. Tactical level here, it doesn't affect us in any way because we cooperate with our colleagues at the other end. We share information.
The brigade commander explains that defeating banditry requires a whole of government and whole of society approach involving security agencies, intelligence organizations, government institutions, and local communities. He added that improved coordination will enable displaced persons to return home, resume farming, and other economic activities. He also reaffirmed the brigade's commitment to sustaining pressure on criminal groups in Katsina State, including those responsible for the abduction of retired Major General Abubakar Rabi.
The army does not start any form of insecurity. Maybe they need to know that we are also stakeholders in this fight. We're also stakeholders in this fight against insecurity. They must also know that to tackle this insurgency and other insecurity bedeviling the country, we must adopt the whole of nation and whole of society approach. This is very key.
According to him, troops have continued to record operational successes and will work closely with security agencies, local communities, and authorities in neighboring Niger Republic to restore lasting peace across the border region. Usman Katun Umar, ASO Television News.
The Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs has declared it never had any official dealings with the controversial Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council or its alleged Director General, Prince Adeyemi, whose identity was confirmed by security authorities, have been unknown to the federal government. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ambassador Dunoma Umaru Ahmed distanced the ministry from activities of the council while representing the minister, Mrs. Bianca Udumegu Ojukwu, before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the alleged unestablished PFIPC at the National Assembly. It is disclosed that Prince Adeyemi, who described himself as the Director General of the Presidential Economic Advisory Council and the Presidential PFIPC, approached the ministry on 3 separate occasions seeking the ministry's collaboration and endorsement to host the World Investment Summit in Nigeria. However, the ministry declined all 3 requests after carrying out due diligence, citing inconsistencies and discrepancies in the correspondence submitted by the self-acclaimed Director General, as well as concerns over the legitimacy of both the council and its purported leadership. The Permanent Secretary said apart from the correspondence already submitted to the committee, the ministry has no official records relating to the PFIPC. Chairman of the ad hoc committee, Mr. Yusuf Gadi, in his response expressed concern over the revelation that Office of the National Security Advisor had established as far back as November 2025 that the alleged Director General and the purported council were not recognized by the federal government. The committee therefore invited the NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, to appear before it on Thursday at 12 noon to explain the actions taken by his office after confirming that the PFIPC was not a recognized government institution. The committee also insisted that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Udumegu Ojukwu, must personally appear before the panel to provide further clarification on issues arising from the ministry's submissions. The Central Bank of Nigeria on Tuesday says it has retained the monetary policy rate, the benchmark interest rate at 26.5% for the second consecutive meeting, citing renewed geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and persistent inflationary risk despite a slight moderation in domestic inflation. The decision was announced by the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, at the end of the MPC's 306th meeting in Abuja, which was attended by all 11 members. Cardoso said the committee resolved to retain the monetary policy rates at 26.5%. The MPC also retained the standing facilities corridor around the MPR, the cash reserve ratio at 45% for deposit money banks, 16% for merchant banks, and 75% for non-treasury single account public sector deposits. The decision follows the committee's previous decision to hold rates after implementing a 50 basis point cut in February 2026. Monetary Policy Committee also observed that the latest decision came despite a marginal decline in Nigeria's headline inflation rate. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, headline inflation eased to 15.91% in June 2026 from 15.93% in May, marking its first decline after 3 consecutive monthly increases. The Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation hosts the International Association of Deposit Insurance Africa Regional Committee annual meeting and workshop from 20th to 23rd July 2026 in Abuja. A statement issued by the Head, Communication and Public Affairs Department of the NDIC, Hawa Gambo, disclosed that deliberations at the workshop will focus on building and sustaining depositor confidence, enhancing effective communication, improving coordination among financial safety net participants, and equipping deposit insurers with practical tools for crisis management and resolution. With the theme, Safeguarding Stability, Public Awareness and Crisis Readiness for a Stronger Future, the 4-day high-level regional meeting and workshop will feature chief executives, directors, and senior officials of deposit insurance institutions, financial regulators, and other stakeholders within the financial safety nets across Africa and beyond. The statement highlights that the workshop will also provide a platform for peer learning, sharing of experiences, and addressing emerging risks, including financial technology innovations and cyber threats, with a view to strengthening frameworks for effective crisis response across the region. It added that the events will be declared open by the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, while the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, is expected to deliver the keynote address. Other dignitaries expected at the event to be hosted by the NDIC's Managing Director, Mr. Thompson Oludare Sunday, include the IADI Secretary General, Ms. Eva Hopkins, and Chairperson of the IADI Africa Regional Committee, Ms. Julia Uyets. And that's the bulletin, but before we go, let's take another look at one of our major stories. President Bola Tinubu has approved a new army battalion for Kwara State to strengthen security and tackle banditry, kidnapping, and other violent crimes. And that's the bulletin. I am Tina Ojeachi. Thanks for watching.